Hey Alpha fam, let's do a quick market update before we begin. I do want to say that nothing in this video is financial advice. Everything is for educational purposes only. This is just my own analysis on the market. Also, if you're new to this channel, if you could please like, comment, and subscribe, we really do appreciate all of the support. So guys, what did we see? So yesterday we actually had good data come out. We had unemployment come out. It went up to 4.6. We got an initial really good reaction from the market. And then of course we had our typical, what basically happens is we've been basically de-risking the first thing in the morning during the market open. And then once we de-risked, we came down to this level and then we started moving back up. We can actually see yesterday when the unemployment data came out, we came up and then we made this other little bit of a move down. If we just kind of back up, guys, we're just essentially, especially if you come over the 4 hour, we're just making higher lows, guys. Like this is perfectly normal market structure right here. You got higher low, higher low, higher low, and then you got higher high, higher high, higher high. I think this Bank of Japan event has been mostly priced in. I'm not saying that there's not a chance for us to make another wick down where we get, maybe a situation where, this thing starts to make a move back up, maybe gets like, right around here. And then on the 19th, we get the news, they do a quick wick down. And then we start actually being able to, retake and reclaim some of these levels that we have lost. I think more than anything, people need to study Wyckoff. And when you study Wyckoff and you look at this on the 4 hour, this looks to me just like an accumulation zone. So if you come over here, there's four situations, or let me reverse. Richard Wyckoff was a technical analysis trader that noticed and developed a set of conditions that he's seen constantly in the market, called the Wyckoff is what they call it. Basically, the market and market structure is created into four dynamics. There's an accumulation range, there's an uptrend, a distribution, and a downtrend. Inside of those, there's multiple other characteristics and things you can look for, but specifically in the accumulation range is what we want to talk about, which is a sideways move after a downtrend. And this is where sellers are getting exhausted and buyers are coming in. And you're looking for some key characteristics. One of those being a spring, all right? The spring doesn't necessarily have to be at the end. Sometimes the spring can be in the beginning and then you do the retest. And that's what I think Bitcoin has done, all right? So if you guys actually can see, if I take this over, this is Bitcoin's bottom range. This was its spring. And then we can see this is its resistance, all right? This is coming off the back of a downtrend, all right? So we can see this very clearly. Downtrend, accumulation, we're getting ready for the next uptrend, all right? Whenever you see this, you can almost guarantee that we're getting ready to start making a new uptrend. Now, am I saying that Bitcoin's gonna make a new all-time high? No, I'm not saying that. I don't know how high it's gonna go, but I do know the characteristics of these Wyckoffs, and what this is screaming to me is reversal. It's time to start moving back up. Does that mean that we can't potentially make another deviation out of this trading range or maybe wick down? Absolutely we can. But for the most part, I think Bitcoin wants to hold this $80,000 to $90,000 range right now before it actually kicks up and starts its next uptrend. We have a lot to be really, really bullish for next year, guys. And after we get past this Bank of Japan, I think then we will start seeing the market really appreciate. We also have a lot of people that are also wash trading right now, which is they are getting prepared for taxes. If you're in a losing position, and altcoins make the most sense because you're not going to sell your gold because your gold's in profit. Why would you sell it and pay taxes on it when you could just roll it over next year? You're not going to sell stocks or futures because they're at all-time highs too. Why would you want to do that? The only thing that's at a loss that you can tax harvest on right now really is crypto, guys. It's the only thing that hasn't had the catch-up trade yet. All right, so it makes sense that we also see a little bit of extra bleeding for people getting prepared for these tax harvesting. All right, guys, makes a lot of sense. Then when we come over here, we got to look at traditional markets. All right, guys, this is the NASDAQ. All right, this thing is battling to get back above the 50 right here, but I think it will. It's literally already above it, but we need to close above it. This looks pretty good. We have the same thing with futures. It had a pretty good bounce last night. It started to move back up. Like I said, I think most of this Bank of Japan event has been priced in at this point, guys. So this looks pretty good. Obviously, we need to check out Ethereum versus Bitcoin. It's still in this retest level. We need this thing to start, re-outperforming Bitcoin, start making a move back up, but I think it will. We also have Bitcoin dominance. It did break above the 50. But again, this is really early in the trading day, guys. There's a huge perplexity for this thing to go back down by the end of the day. I'm watching it pretty closely, and we could even get a little deviation where it maybe wants to come back up like it did right here and then reject. And then we get this double top kind of a pattern where it comes back down, comes back up, and then we get this double top, and then we start getting some relief. That would make sense to me too. Looking at USDT dominance, we had a red day yesterday. This thing is kind of like consolidating in this area. Again, we've been talking about it. We really need this thing to start coming down, guys, as quickly as possible, essentially. With all that being said, looking at the market generally, I think what's happening right now is, you can see it right here. This is the whole driver behind this. You can see this went up 1.59%. That's because they made that announcement last night that they were going to actually raise the rates up 75 basis points. And after we get past this event, then we can start moving up. Don't forget what's happening next year, guys. We got stimulus checks, Jerome Powell's being replaced, quantitative tightening is stuck, we have quantitative easing is here. We have a lot to be bullish for. We got midterms next year, guys. Always remember, what did Trump just say? Going to keep these markets at all-time highs. All right, guys? From that, I think that what needs to happen again is we just need to start reclaiming some levels. We can actually see like Bitcoin starting to make a move right now. Again, we're about 45 minutes before the daily open happens, so I like to try to give it some time to kind of make a directional move. I don't really trust the first 30 to 45 minutes of a daily open because of the amount of volume. But again, the market's come down quite a bit, guys. All right. It would make a lot of logical sense to me starting here within the next 24 to 48 hours, now that we've kind of gotten this announcement from the Bank of Japan, to start reclaiming some levels and to start moving back up. All right. With that being said, guys, if you like this video, if you're new to this channel, if you could please like, comment, and subscribe. We really do appreciate all the support. I've been in crypto for 5 years now. I'm a Capital Club expert. I host all of the Crypto Talk workshops in there, and I am the founder of Alpha Syndicate. I started Alpha Syndicate to help people like you who are just trying to understand these markets, trying to get an edge, and trying to take advantage of the largest transfer of wealth in human history. And this is what's happening, guys. Crypto is the largest transfer of wealth in human history is dying, or is happening, and I'm going to explain why. The baby boomers are the generation that's acquired the most wealth. All right. Out of any generation in history, they've acquired the most wealth. What's happening? I'm going to give you some examples. Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan, passed away recently. What happens to their money? It gets left to the next generation. So the baby boomers are passing this down to the next generation. And these are going to be the generation that is going to be willing to do things like invest in crypto, invest in AI. They're not going to be, these are people that are in, their 30s, 40s, 50s that are acquiring this wealth. And these are the people that are going to take advantage of these type of opportunities. And as you see this transfer of wealth happen, guys, you're also watching the real-time adoption of digital assets at an unprecedented level. All right. You can't fade these type of opportunities. And if you want to understand this stuff at a deep level, if you really want to understand macroeconomics, fundamentals, technical analysis, the different things that we're investing in, if you want to be able to network with other individuals that are super passionate about what they do, click the link below, guys. We'll see you inside.